So I really wanted to talk more about concussions this month because there's been kind of an epidemic in my clinic, including my very own son, who dealt with a concussion this last week from wrestling. What I want to touch on is kind of the early phases of what to do acutely, day of, day after, to try to make sure that we're doing the right things for it. So what we really want to try to avoid more than anything is NSAIDs, so Advil, ibuprofen, Motrin, anything that's aspirin, anything that's going to increase bleeding. Generally speaking, 90+% of these types of head injuries, there isn't a structural damage component of what's going on. A lot of people rush straight to imaging, and a lot of times it's quite unnecessary unless there's really this real blunt force trauma and you're seeing some kind of structural component that you might be suspecting. A lot of this is neurochemical, so we've got to be very cognizant of what we're doing and putting into our body to assist our body in flushing and removing cellular waste, debris, inflammation. So avoid the things that are going to cause more bleeding, which would be our NSAIDs and aspirin. We've got to make sure that we're not hitting any kind of stimulants, caffeine, otherwise that are actually going to be causing some of this to be an issue. Cut a little bit of the salt. Salt's going to have you retain water, which could affect swelling. So we can get started on just doing the right things. What I don't want you to do is really alter your sleep patterns. So what a lot of people do is, do more rest. Does that mean more sleep? Not necessarily. I want you to be very cautious to maintain your prior level of sleep patterns, because when we start throwing a lot of this stuff off, it can actually alter your symptom recovery. So making sure that you're maintaining the sleep at levels that you are prior. Too much sleep can actually slow some of this process down. It's somewhat counterintuitive, but some of the information that we're seeing is showing that, just sleeping this off is not the thing that you want to do. Acutely in particular, you want to be monitoring the person with concussion. So you just don't want them to fall asleep in case there is some type of bleed that becomes an emergency situation. So monitoring this first phase of things and be very conscious of it. Don't go directly to sleep after this concussion. We got to kind of keep them up and monitor and just make sure there isn't some slow bleed issue that's going to cause some pressure that could turn into a devastating potential loss of life situation with a concussion or head injury. So keeping an eye on those things acutely. Any questions that you have, anything that pops up, obviously I want to be a resource for you guys. So our phone lines are always open. Reach out to us even after hours with stuff like this. We certainly want to make sure that we keep our community and your friends, family, children safe after potential head injury.